AA Best Bail Bonds Big Game coverage live from Miami.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Jason and Rob with you live with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage, and we brought you a Hall of Famer, one of the best running backs I ever witnessed, Terrell Davis. It's a genuine honor to have you on.
You almost blew my eardrums out when you started this segment.
He does that.
Yeah, it scared me. You woke me up. If I was asleep, I'm definitely up now.
It's a call to arms, man.
Call to arms. Let's go.
It's down, set, go. Let's do this. No, TD, it is an honor to have you come by.
I appreciate it, man. How you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic. I got to ask, though, how cool is it for you walking around Radio Row in this gold jacket?
Yeah, it feels good.
I mean, it's different than before, right?
It feels good. I used to sit here and watch guys come in with the gold jacket, and, of course, you have to let your mind wander a little bit, dream. And you think, wow, it'd be nice to have that jacket. And now I'm here. In 2017, they called my name and said I was worthy of being a Hall of Famer, and listen, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm grateful. I was humbled by it. It really does. It really changes my perspective on basically everything, because you realize there's 30,000 men who have played, who have coached, contributed to this game. And there's only 300, and now there's so maybe 340 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so it really puts that in perspective on how elite that class is. That's humbling.
Out of curiosity, how many jackets do you get?
Well, you get one.
Well, I mean, but like when you open your closet, do you got 10 there, or do you got to have one and always have a dry cleaner nearby?
Well, I have two now. My first one, I wore it out. I beat that thing up, man. I had that thing on everywhere I went. I tried to just put the jacket on, even if they didn't want me to bring it. I'm bringing a jacket.
Out of curiosity, where do you get it?
From the hall, the hall gives you this.
The hall takes care of it, so I can't go to like my local Men's Warehouse.
No.
Hall of Fame special.
No, you can't go to like Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom and say,
hey, they don't let him there anyway. We can't go there.
Or TJ Maxx.
Eat for lunch there. Yeah.
Hey, don't downgrade TJ Maxx.
I actually picked this. I mean, I know TJ Maxx. That's still in my store. It's still in my store. Shoot, don't care.
Yeah, man,
some good name brands at TJ Maxx.
You never know. You stumble on some very expensive shoes every now and then. You can walk in and find those. Terrell Davis joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Terrell, before we get into the football game, I want to talk about something that you have made very much front and center, and that's migraines.
Yeah.
I remember when you were going through all of that, and as you were dealing with it, I think a lot of people said, yes, I deal with it too. And, a migraine ain't a headache. But for the longest time, people said, well, take a couple Tylenol and get back to work. If the lights are bothering you, turn the lights down. But how can you be debilitated? And I think you put a face to what a lot of people have dealt with. And I think the medical movements have really been after you became kind of the face of the migraine. I don't know, you don't want to be that. But
I do want to be that. And that's exactly what I want to be. And so really what today is I'm teamed up with Eli Lilly, and today is they have their medicines called Rayvow. It now provides an option for those who suffer from acute migraine attacks, which didn't happen before, and it really gives you pain freedom. So let's just go back to the stigma with migraines. Most people think it's just a bad headache, right? But it's not. It is a neurologic disease that affects nearly 30 million American adults. It's the second leading disability in the world, next to heart disease.
And you wonder how many work days are lost in that.
Well, let me tell you, it costs the U.S. economy $56 billion a year in lost, lost wages, people not going to work. So there's an impact on our economy, and so that's why I'm happy today that Rayvow has come out with their medicine for migraine, acute migraine, pain freedom. And it's been incredible because, like I said, since I was 9 years old, man, I've dealt with migraines, and they're not fun, man. They're debilitating. They keep you from just going about your normal day. When you get one, you got to stay in a quiet, cool, dark room, no nothing, and just try to wait it out. Some of these things last 40 hours. Ooh. My worst migraine was 40 hours, and it's a cycle. I went through visual things, what they call the aura, and that happens for about an hour or two. Get that back, you can start getting pounding headaches, and that lasts for hours. That can last for up to 18 hours. Then after that, once it starts to break, you start to have nausea and vomiting. And that tells me that my cycle was starting to cycle through. But as a 9-year-old kid and having this, not having any options to treat it, that was tough.
Absolutely.
That was tough, man. So
how tough was it as a football player when you were going through that to tell your coach, I don't know if I can practice today?
That was – it sounds crazy, but I was embarrassed to tell my coach. I was embarrassed to tell anybody.
Embarrassed or scared?
Yeah, I was embarrassed.
Because my coach, I'd have been scared.
Well, I can't play today, Coach. I got a headache. Well, everybody out here got a headache.
You see how that sounds?
Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't as simple. People think, well, why'd you play in the game? I was like, I didn't have a choice. I couldn't tell them that I had a headache because they would have been like, man, tough it up, just go in the game. So I just had to just deal with all of this since I was a young kid. And as I got older, we started to try to look at some options to try to, obviously look at it for preventative measures to where they wouldn't come. And once they came, it wasn't really anything that could stop them. So, my thing today is to tell people that there's options out there, that Eli Lilly is committed for innovative research and innovative ways to help you deal with your migraine. And today they have their option. Rayvalve, as a matter of fact, today it's kickoff. They just launched it today. So go to rayvalve.com. That's REYVOW.com, or go to your doctor for more information.
All right, let's talk Super Bowl with
Let's do
Terrell
it.
Davis, the Hall of Famer, sitting with us, one of the greatest I ever seen. Won me some money in fantasy.
Where's my cut?
See, Priest Holmes used to tell us
where
that.
is all that interest? I need all that interest.
The money I won wouldn't buy your lunch.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
All right, so as we look forward to this game, and certainly we know what you were, and you look at what San Francisco does and the way they use Mostert, Breida in this downhill, it feels very much like what you were doing in Denver 10 years ago, doesn't it?
That's what everybody says. I get phone calls and text messages, and that looks familiar. Did you guys run that offense?
Yep.
And we did. Obviously, you see the connection there with Kyle. I played for his dad, Mike Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the foundation. The foundational pieces are there. You see the stretch zone run that people talk about. That's the foundational piece. But Kyle actually put his own twist on his offense. They do things totally different than when I played. We didn't do as much of the shifts and the motions and all the different things they try to dress up a play to look like something different, but they're running the same play. And then you see some of the plays they run, like some of their bend back runs on their zones where they have zone blocking on the front side, they have man blocking on the back side with some kind of seal blocking, and they're sort of whamming the 3 technique. It's fun to watch of how creative Kyle is and what he's doing to try to counter a defense. He already has the answers before the play is snapped by moving guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already saying, if I want to get the edge, I know how to get the edge. You put a tight end over there, or you back him off the ball. You do a motion, because it's going to be too late for them to shift for a motion.
Yep. And
you do a crack back on end. You pull your tackles around or guards around.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of creative stuff. I like it.
Was Shanahan a kid when you were
He was high school.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, it was high school.
Was he annoying?
No. He was. You can tell he was a hard worker. He really wanted to play football, obviously, and he was a receiver, so he'd be up there catching balls with Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith and doing his thing. And then he went to Duke when we won our second Super Bowl, I think in 1998. So he was around. So he understands what a championship team looks like. His dad is obviously there as a sounding board if he needs him. But he's got a great pedigree, man. And then he has his own experience. He played in Super Bowl. What was that? 3 years ago. Yeah. When the Falcons played as OC.
They didn't run it enough late. I bet they're not going to have that problem on Sunday.
And that's what happens when you fail. When you have those moments, and that's the difference between somebody who has experience and somebody who doesn't have experience. Is now you know that what I'm not going to do next time. Next time, if I'm ever in this situation, I think he's already told people by what he's doing these last couple of weeks. It's almost like he's thinking about that moment. He thought about that moment, and he said, I'm going to the postseason. I'm going to run the football.
And he still wakes up for that moment, I'm
exactly.
sure. Terrell Davis, Hall of Fame running back here on ESPN San Antonio, Miami on Radio Row. Who are the running backs you like to watch in today's NFL?
I'm just a running back fan, so I like Zeke, like his running style. I like Dalvin Cook. Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey. I know his dad, Ed McCaffrey, played with him. So Christian McCaffrey, I love his versatile game. Still like Todd Gurley when he's healthy. Something's going on with Todd. I'm not sure what's going on. Shady McCoy, one of my favorite guys. obviously he's dealing with some injuries. I love watching him when he was in Buffalo and Philadelphia. So I appreciate backs, man. I think backs are like fingerprints, man. No two are alike, and they all bring different things to the table. And I'm just a guy who just enjoy watching that because I know how tough it is to be a back.
For so many years, it seemed like the running back position was leaving the NFL. It was very disposable. You don't want to pay the running backs.
Yeah.
And they hit 30 and they're done. What did Zeke's contract this offseason mean for the running back position?
Well, I'm glad I don't play anymore, man, because it's 1 year. They paid some backs, right? They paid Todd Gurley. They paid David Johnson. They paid Zeke. Le'Veon Bell got his contract. And some people might think that those guys didn't live up those contracts as running backs. So I'm always rooting for backs when they get paid to show their worth. And they are worth it. Every penny those guys sign for, they're worth it, so that the next back who's up gets paid, gets treated as, gets his value. And some people just don't look at running backs like that no more. I don't know why.
Well, it's interesting. You have the conundrum. We're paying him a lot of money. We don't want to wear him out, but we got to use him, and we got to back him off sometimes. You almost think about load management in the NBA. Terrell Davis, thank you so much for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Eli Lilly premiering a brand new drug today.
Rayvoud.
Go check it out if you're a sufferer with that. Terrell, thank you so much for your information. It's always a pleasure
Anytime.
to catch up with a great man.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.